At level three of the sort of fellowcraft, and this is more of a systemic, broader philosophical interpretation. We've talked about in the Enter Apprentice Mason's degree as well as the Fellowcraft Mason's degree, and throughout the symbols of Freemasonry, there may be a behavioral perspective or a relational perspective, and then more of a philosophical systemic perspective. In the Fellowcraft case, the systemic perspective is uh, really about integration. And so, as you acquire information or knowledge of any sort, there is a integrative process where you take that information and you add it to the sort of repository, if you will, the list of stuff you already know. You are testing what you know already versus what you're learning in the process, and back and forth and vice versa, to figure out how the new information you're getting and the new skill you're developing integrates to the existing set. As that integration sort of happens, a couple of sort of wonderful things will emerge. One of the things that will happen fairly quickly is you'll begin to see parallels between what it is you're learning and the things you've already learned. So you'll begin to find the similarities between, playing different instruments, or you'll begin to find the similarities between whole domains of different experiences. So, if you're working in a service-based business, for example, you'll find that there is a lot more similarities between plumbing and insurance than you might expect. Some of those kind of emergent properties of sameness, again, will emerge through the fellowcraft sort of cycle of integrating new knowledge. And what will happen there as well, um, as you take on that sort of external understanding of relationships and the sort of feedback processes, the behavioral stuff, you'll start to really begin to build a meaningful approach to this integration and synthesis, where you are setting the foundation for the creation of new knowledge. So it's about reconciling what you're picking up as you learn and develop, and creating that foundation for opportunity. Now, you may remember in the last episode we talked a little bit about finding your voice and what happens when you start to really begin to understand the role of the work kind of in the environment. You begin to develop and cultivate a bit of a personality and that kind of thing. The same thing's true here at this level, except for what you're really talking about when you talk about finding your voice at the systemic level or the philosophical level, is you're talking about your sort of role in the world. You find your role in the world through all of the different works that you undertake. Now, you may find that, for example, as you learn a new skill, this is not something you want to do. You have zero interest in it long term, but you need to acquire the skill for the short term because there's some important outcome you're trying to drive to. But at the systemic level, for a lot of these skills, again, as you cultivate that voice and that sort of deeper understanding that comes with that integration, you begin to understand as well how you can express yourself through the work, and how the work expresses itself through you. It is a process that is a two-way street. And again, with the Fellowcraft kind of whole model, you're really talking about understanding that relationship. We'll get in more into the Master Mason sort of approach to things, about how perfection and how new knowledge generation really starts to take hold. But in the context of the Fellowcraft Mason's approach or perspective, you're really getting to that finding your voice and reconciling the existing knowledge base through the stuff you already know, or the new information that you're taking in as a Fellowcraft through what you already know, and synthesizing that information in a way, in a context that you understand and have value for. That's largely what you're going to be doing at kind of a level 3 interpretation of the Fellowcraft Mason's perspective.